And what I wanted to show is just how that moves really well, and this side doesn't, that I can't, and if you ask Erin, she'll tell you that it feels like her whole body would flip before this would go down, right? It's not going anywhere, correct? We agree? Okay, and this goes fine. Okay, so it's a completely different thing. Now, it could be one of two things. It could be an upslip or it could be a rotation. If it's a rotation, what you do is you just fix that, and that's what we're going to do now. Bring your knee up. Give me a push against my chest. Good, relax. Give me another push. Good, relax. And when I do that, that would take any rotation out of her hip and would allow this now to have good excursion. And it's a little bit better, but you notice it's still there, right? So I still can't turn that. That tells me it's an upslip, okay? And then what we want to do is, we're going to use this Dyson to get a better grip so we don't take all the skin off of it. No, this is pretty gentle actually. We're going to use what's called a contract relax technique. I want to pick her up a little bit and out a little bit. And then we want to maximally internally rotate her. And the reason we want to do that is we want to tighten up the knee capsule and the hip capsule so that we're only pulling right against the hip bone itself, okay? And Erin, what I'm going to ask you to do is use your right side back muscles and pull upward against me. There you go, that's perfect. Now relax, please. So we're using a thing called autogenic inhibition to help relax the same muscles that are actually hypertonic. Pull up again. Good, and relax again. Pull up again. Good, relax again. And then what you want to make sure is it's just a straight distraction. You don't want to telegraph it, you just want to pull straight through. I'm not trying to pull it hard, I'm trying to pull quick. Okay? Okay, you okay?
Yeah.
Okay, now after we did that, now it's fine. It goes just about as far. Still a little tighter than this side, isn't it? But you can tell it's much different than it was. Okay. And then also go ahead now and feel that hip, and you should be able to feel that there's some excursion there. And come down, kind of go like this way. There you go. Good? Feel the difference?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's number one. And then here's what we want to show. With that, we need to do another thing, which is release the pubic bone. And the way we're going to do that is bring both knees up there. Squeeze as hard as you can. Make me heel. Good. Let both legs come down. And I'm going to poke at your pubic bone. Okay, now as hard as you did, and that wasn't bad, but her pubic bone still didn't go. Okay, so it's still, you can see it's still off. See the difference?
Yeah.
Still not where it's supposed to be. So you randomly pick a side. Usually it's the right. You find out?
What's that? The right? Yeah.
It's usually the right. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick the right side. We're just going to fix the right side. And what we're going to do is, again, we're going to use these muscles in Erin and my hand to kind of push that back up where it's supposed to be. So I'm going to push on her here this way. Push against me. Good. Relax, please. Second push. Good. Relax again. One more. And relax again. Good. You okay? Okay. Bring both knees up. Squeeze hard again. Good. Both legs down. The reason we did that is even if this was the wrong side, I just muscled it up. But with her squeezing, if it's not the correct side, it'll go back off. You see? Now we're going to poke at you a second time. Now if you look down, you see it's okay now. Okay, so now we're where we're supposed to be. Okay. Now we want to go to part two, which is you're going to turn your side facing that way. Maybe it got stronger in the interim, you think? Okay. Lift up, hold me there. And so what I'm doing is I'm just applying a steady force, right? And Erin, as much as she's trying, she just doesn't have very much strength here. And she's at collegiate level. Actually, almost everybody can hold me if they have good strength. Okay, on your back again. So that muscle is not weak, it's being inhibited, and we want to disinhibit that muscle. And you need two things to do that. You need a ball or my elbow, and you need a roller or this stick. If you're doing it yourself, you need a ball and the roller. If
Squeeze this side.
We're going to use Art's elbow. And there'll be a spot where it's very, very tender, and it's right about in there. Yeah. And Erin is very, very tough because we have many people cry doing this. Never me, by the way. You okay? It is a mean one, isn't it? Huh? And you should go at least a dozen times. I'm sorry. I know it's not a good time. On the other hand, you're tough. Okay. That was at least a dozen, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then the other thing is just generally her glute is going to, we're going to find that that's very, very tight. And what we call hypertonic, meaning it's in a continual state of contraction, albeit a low level contraction. This is a state between having a tight muscle and having a cramp. Jeez, when I was talking, I lost count. Okay. You want to do it about a dozen times again. When I'm doing this, I usually do about 2 sets, just to make sure we get it right. Really stupid as well as being mean, right? It's bad enough being mean, but if you're mean and stupid, that doesn't look too good. Okay, Erin, watch your hand here, because I don't want to squeeze you. We're going to go back in that spot, and I would say that that is the spot, okay? Would you agree, Erin? I think she would, actually, okay. And people don't believe this when I say if it's not that tight, it doesn't hurt like this. This should not hurt like this hurts, okay? But we're going to go in, and again, I just try to cover the glute muscle. Okay, turn on your side again, facing that way, please, Erin. Lift up again. Okay, hold me there. Now I'm pushing now with my body weight and I can't move her. You feel the difference?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that muscle's not weak, it's inhibited. And obviously for this person to run like she wants to, we need to not have that muscle inhibited. Okay, on your back again.
Your back again.
And this time, we think maybe the left side is also upslipped, okay? But that's a tougher one to check if you're not sure. Number one, if the hip is rotated, it'll seem like it's higher anyway, and this seems like it's higher. Okay, so when I put my hands on her hips, this element, the side, SIS, is superior to this one. You see that, right? Okay. If it was rotated, it would be superior here, but when we flipped her over, it would be inferior, because it would be rotated, right? One of the ways you can test this, other than just testing the excursion, because frankly, some people can get that, some people cannot. Okay. Flip over on your stomach, just for a minute. If you push on her ischial tuberosities, what you're going to see is there's her right side, and here's her left side, and you notice to get to her left side, I got to go way up here. Okay, so you see how much higher this is?
Yes.
Meaning that the whole structure is pushed superior, right?
Yes.
So that way we kind of know this is an upslip.
Straight upslip.
Yeah, so if you want to check yourself, that's how you would do it. Okay, if you don't trust your hands, you can check yourself that way.
Okay.
So now we know on your back again. Honestly, would you hurt anything if you did what we're going to do with her left hip? Probably not. But it's always good to know that you're doing the appropriate move. Okay. Dice them again. We even got Ohio State colors just for you.
Oh, good, thank you.
Okay. We're going to pull on you here. Same thing we just did, right? So up a little bit, out a little bit, maximal internal rotation. Go ahead and pull upward against me, Erin, please. Yep. And relax, please. Thank you. Up a second time. Good, relax again. Up a third time. Good, relax again. Good. You okay there? Okay. Go back up. There you go. Thank you.
All right.
We're going to put this away now.
Oh, thank goodness.
Bring your knees up.
So Art,
Squeeze
Kareem's
her.
coming in 20 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll try to be done. It's like
Yeah,
cheese and feet.
and like I'm gonna probably have the fellows just see the initial evaluation, but
Okay.
probably only get them for 5 minutes though, so teach them everything you can in 5 minutes.
Okay.
But then, because we got a noon conference with radiology,
Okay.
but he he's coming.
Okay. Can you just have him come right on in and then we'll,
Yeah,
we'll
yeah,
take
he'll come over there. We'll just bring him over here.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Right back. Okay. So now you can notice that feels quite a bit better. We didn't even check her leg length, and that's okay. You can go by leg length and stuff, but leg length is very confounding. So for me, this is a much more direct way to do it. And then we're pushing our pubic bone one more time, and now it looks quite level. So that's staying. Once it usually goes, it's usually easier to keep it there after it goes away. Okay. Let's see. Oh yes, we have that problem on the other side.
How could we forget?
About now is if I have another customer that's not tough like Erin, I would try to do like work on the psoas or work on hip mobility or something just to kind of break up the torment, because this is it's a very okay. Bring it across. You ready?
Yeah.
Yeah. pretty much feels the same, doesn't it, Erin?
Yeah.
It's not a good time, is it, my friend? I never knew that owning elbows would pay off for this kind of work, but it really does.
Trying to achieve the same thing. I think
You know,
this kind of
the
generates.
question we all have is, what muscle is that? And honestly, we don't know
Yeah.
for sure, right?
Mhm.
I'm sure it's not the piriformis. I don't think it is.
When we were at that course, we were
Yeah,
at the
we
cadaver
couldn't
course,
figure
we
it
were
out.
kind of
But
looking
we should
at
we should hit
the-
Dr. Cruz up for finding out.
Yeah. Shelby was asking if, you know, you feel like it's better to kind of get in and do that with your elbow versus like just a direct inhibition, or do you just feel like you prefer that way more because of
It's
the
just
time
it's
and-
meaner, it's
Yeah.
quicker. Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it just
I
was
think you
generating
can
more
use a
blood
stick
flow.
on both spots,
Mhm.
and if I have somebody who's not as tough as Aaron, I'll use a stick on both spots. And I'm doing 2 sets of these because I want to make sure it's working.
Mhm.
So the second time around, I'll use the stick. But no, it's very mean.
And
I mean,
plus
it usually
it's-
causes a bruise.
I feel like it's kind of a little bit more time efficient too versus like a strain counter strain or something, you know, like prone
Yeah.
you're kind of.
Yeah, and this, and of course, it fits in more with my
Right.
nature.
This,
With your
Takes-
gentle nature.
takes
A
too
little more
long.
natural.
Yes, it takes too long and it's way too subtle, right?
Right.
my question may not have an answer, but with everything being in proper shape, will you see a healing in that tendon quickly?
Well, if you quit
Days?
abusing it, you know, in the sense, yes, because she's going to quit abusing it. Everything
Okay.
else is working better. Now, that's an inference on my part.
Okay.
Do I know that? No. Like I said, we're environmentalists. We're
Mhm.
trying to create an environment where that tendon can work properly, assuming that there's no other damage to it. She's already got some swelling in there, so, you know, is it swelling enough that it's still going to bother her? I hope not, but I don't know that.
Okay.
Aaron just says, quit talking.
Just trying to see if I can tell her to suck it up and run by like, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
I'll make sure this side works out. This is the
I
problem.
didn't know that stick could bend, Art.
You okay?
Yep.
Relatively, now that I quit that.
A
Roll on your side,
lot
face
better
it.
now.
Facing that way, please. Okay, lift up.
And her body will kind of tell her
Hold me
too,
there.
wouldn't you say, or
Hold me,
from a pain perspective.
hold me. There we go. Still not quite as strong as the other side, so that's why it's important to keep working with this. That's why I usually ask people to do this before and after they run. Now, it'll get less and less mean as it gets better. And it shouldn't hurt, like if you're not in a dysfunctional position, it shouldn't hurt like this, okay? So when it stops hurting, you go like, good. Because it's like, but I don't think it's a bad thing to keep doing.
Okay.
The other thing you should see is,
Have you been rolling on that round thing?
yeah, there's her right piriformis. Notice how our left one's better? Okay. Can I tell you that dysfunction we saw in her sacrum earlier? I usually associate it with tight right piriformis. Okay. And then her hip is a little catchy through the right, which is not uncommon, and you'll kind of feel that with a scour. Okay. And her motion here is a little tight. Her motion this way is quite good. She was a gymnast, so she has good internal rotation. Most people do not. A little tiny pinchy, isn't it? Okay. This is okay, a little tight. And this is, yeah, a little tight this way. So she's actually tight internal here, external here. Thank
Do
you.
you want this? Yeah.
Black belt. Hip abuse, I have a black belt.
I know, trust me.
Okay. The only thing I find with men, you don't want to pinch their scrotum, so I always warn them. With females, actually, you could actually pinch the pubic bone. So I actually usually ask females now, only after being told that by a few females. So you just tell me if you're okay or not. We'll do this.
Okay.
And we're just going to pull your short up so we don't hurt you any worse than we have to, right?
Yeah.
Ready? You okay? Relatively? Compared to my elbow, it's pretty easy. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Like that better?
Yeah.
Okay. This still moves okay. Now we're going to try to get her a little bit more movement in her hip. And again, yeah. Right in the butt?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's the piriformis. And this is just an aggressive way to kind of get this muscle to release. You okay?
Yep.
Can I tell you that oftentimes when we do that, we'll find that dysfunction is gone in the sacrum.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to pull in a little bit more. You okay?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Good.
Yeah.
Like that. Now we'll go on the other side and see if we can. What you want is a match set. Right? So I'm not going to worry about piriformis on this side. We're just going to get her internal rotation a little bit better. Nice too.
Thank you.
Okay, you okay there?
Yep.
Okay, on this one, it's got a little tiny bit of pinchiness right in there. When I do this, you notice I put the belt right on my butt. So it's almost like sitting down, and that way you can hold your lordosis so you don't hurt yourself. The first rule is you can't help them if you hurt yourself. Okay. Good.
Yeah.
And see how nicely that picked up. So now we have pretty equal motion with each hip, which is important. And you can go ahead and actually shut that off for a bit, because what we're going to do is